Hey, what's up everyone? Nick here. Welcome back to the Resident Evil 5 Professional Difficulty S Rank No Damage walkthrough. We are moving on to Chapter 3.3. The beginning of this level can be pretty tough, especially if you are going for the no damage. What you want to do, make sure you have the rifle, and then I'll see you after the cutscene.
What happened to Irving? Will, he can't have gone too far.
Josh.
Thanks. Thank you later. We got company.
I'm on it. Got you, Kevin.
Alright, as soon as you gain control of Chris, aim to the left, take out those two guys, and then aim to the right and take out these three guys. Hopefully, Sheva will help you. Chances are she may not. Now, if you're not trying to go for no damage, then you might get hit there and it's not the end of the world. Sheva will just heal you up. If you are going for no damage, that part can be a little tricky. Initially, when I was trying it, I was aiming to the right first and then to the left. But the beauty here is when you have the infinite rifle, you can take those guys out very quickly, turn around in the direction that the boat is headed, and you can see there's a lot to deal with. There are numerous enemies with crossbows and with dynamite sticks, but you'll also notice there is a lot of these flammable tanks, and so because we took care of the first 5 guys so quickly, we can turn around and shoot a lot of these tanks to get rid of this section, or to get through this section pretty quickly. Now you're going to come to the first stop right here, and you're going to notice a lot of the flying enemies. Again, sorry, I forget the name. I even had someone tell me all of the names, and I still am just drawing a blank. But I'm going to just refer to them as the flying enemies. And you'll notice I basically just ran past them all. I just ran straight to the switch here. And then you can actually run all the way back. So there is going to be one guy here that wasn't there before. So you're going to want to take him out. Then there's going to be this guy across the gap. And you'll notice how I'm really not paying the flying creatures that much mind. I'm just running through this entire area. If you really wanted to, and I have tried this, you could run past every enemy in this part. It's just a little more risky, but you can do it, and I have done it without taking any damage. I just wasn't recording. That was on like earlier playthroughs. But you'll get a checkpoint right here, and now we're going to move on to the second area. Again, you're going to turn around in the direction that the boat is headed, equip your infinite rifle. You'll notice there's always a couple enemies up here throwing dynamite sticks. From experience, I found that you don't even have to shoot them because they cannot, or at least they have a very hard time hitting you since you're on a moving target. They'll always throw their dynamite into the water and it won't do any damage. At least that's from my experience. I'm not going to say that that's given. I don't know if that happens 100% of the time, but just from the numerous times I tried this section, because this part here actually did take me a couple tries because I was going for the no damage playthrough. The dynamite guys were never really a factor, so if you're crunched for time, if you're trying to aim under pressure, it might be more worthwhile to shoot the crossbow guys and the propane tanks instead of the dynamite guys. Now, right away, there's going to be a number of enemies that come out of that central building up there, and there are 2 machine gun turrets up there, and 2 enemies are going to hop on each turret. You'll notice I was able to shoot one of the guys right off the bat, so that instantly eliminates one of the turrets from the equation. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stand behind this wall here, and I'm going to try to get the second guy. Now, while I'm trying to get this guy, there's also going to be a number of other enemies that try to either run up on you or throw dynamite at you from afar. So the most important thing, again, if you're trying to get no damage, is just stay behind this wall. And now I'm going to pop out, shoot this guy once. You got to be quick to that shot. That does take a little bit of skill. You just have to be really fast to the trigger. But what will happen is, unlike earlier in the game, the enemies will no longer run to that turret. So once you kill those initial 2 turret operators, that's it. You don't have to worry about the turrets anymore. The other enemies are most likely going to charge you. You can see there's an enemy right here trying to get towards me. So make sure you keep rotating that camera to look in both directions. Another thing you may have noticed, I didn't have time to point this out in the beginning of the video, but you'll notice Chris has the rocket launcher. As I've said before, I'll mainly be using the rocket launcher for boss fights, and so as you can imagine, there is a boss fight at the end of this level. You'll notice it's a pretty short level, and that's because most of the gameplay actually is what you're seeing right now, this initial part, and then we're going to get kind of a long cutscene. I'd say like a 3 to 4 minute cutscene. And then we'll be having the Irving boss fight, which again, if you utilize the Magnum and the rocket launcher, it's a very, very simple boss fight to get through. And then the video will end with another slightly long cutscene, and you know, in the end, it turns out to be a pretty short chapter. Now right here, I finally feel like I'm in the clear. I don't see any more enemies. You'll notice the music hasn't died down yet, so I'm still a little cautious, but for the most part, I don't see any enemies rushing me, so that's kind of my okay to leave the wall. Staying behind that wall, it's really only important when the turrets are firing at you. As soon as those turrets are out, you're free to kind of run around as much as you want. And so then you're going to pull these 2 levers. Have Sheva pull one, you pull the other. That'll open the gate, and now you're going to make your way back to the boat. Now this is another area where, on an earlier playthrough, I just ran past, because more enemies are going to spawn right now. On an earlier playthrough, I just ran past everyone, got to the boat, and I didn't take any damage. But for the sake of this walkthrough, I felt like that was a bit too risky, so I wanted to kind of show you an alternate approach. You'll notice that there are a lot of the flying beasts in the sky. So I'm going to actually stand back here, equip the rifle, and I'm just going to start shooting these guys. Now, in terms of safety, this is a pretty good strategy because I'm far away, I have the rifle, there's really no immediate threat. I can just kind of pick these guys off one by one. The only risk here is if you're trying to go for the S rank, because those guys can be kind of hard to shoot out of the air, especially from farther away. They're very good at dodging, and what that will do is if you miss a lot, it will lower your accuracy rate, and that is one of the things that affects your overall ranking for the level. So if you get like an A in accuracy and then an S in everything else, you should still get an S for the entire level, but you know, if it drops anything below an A, maybe you get a B or C for accuracy, then you might want to start worrying. So in terms of completion, it's a good strategy to take those guys out from far away with the rifle. In terms of accuracy, you just want to be a little careful. But anyway, here we are back to the boat. Now we're just waiting for Sheva, and that's mainly the reason I didn't want to run past this section. That was a little lucky right there that guy missed me. But that's why I didn't want to run, because I was worried Sheva might not keep up with me, and that would just make things harder. Anyway, guys, here's the cutscene, and then the boss.
We've got to do something! We gotta get aboard that ship! Hold on! Get ready!
What are you going to do about them?
You're just one of Excella's playthings. It was your master who was supposed to
One more time. What are you going to do about them?
All right. I'll handle it.
Use it.
This. Won't you two just die already? You're making me look bad. Who do you think got this entire operation off the ground? Research like this doesn't fund itself, you know. Yet everyone looks down on me. But not anymore.
Don't do it!
you could ever hope to become.
Alright guys, so for the Irving boss fight, he's going to spawn on the left-hand side first. I'm going to equip my rifle, and you'll notice this glowing kind of bulb on his upper neck. And you're going to shoot that as much as you can. You can use the Magnum, it does do more damage, but it's harder to aim from this far away, that's why I used the rifle. Once you do enough shots, these tentacles will come up, and you'll notice in the middle of the tentacles are these kind of like weak points. So that's where I'll take out the Magnum, and I'll just go across the line, shoot each one twice. Now some more are going to pop up. So just keep firing on those. That will eliminate the second wave of the tentacles, and then you can go back to shooting the bulb on his face / neck area. And then eventually he's going to do this thing where he comes right up to the boat. That'll be your chance to maybe get 1 or 2 really good shots in. And then he'll disappear. And this is when you're going to want to equip the rocket launcher. Stand about in the middle of the boat. And now you're going to start aiming at him. You might want to use the rifle here, doesn't really matter, but you can see I hit him, and now Irving will make his appearance. So he's kind of within the mouth of the creature. Notice how I'm standing far back. That's because when the creature comes up, it can attack you if you're standing at the front of the boat, so I like to stand back here. But now I'm going to take out the rocket launcher, and all it takes to kill him is 1 direct shot with the rocket hitting Irving. So you'll notice it's taking a couple tries because it is a hard shot to pull off, but that's the benefit of using the infinite rocket launcher. There we go, 4th try's a charm, and that'll put Irving down for good.
Tell me what you're planning to do.
Damn it, fella. I guess I wasn't worth the good stuff.
Excella.
Where is this facility? Answer me. What is the Ouroboros project?
You say, yeah. Wow, you two are just on top of everything, aren't you? The balance of the world is changing and you're completely oblivious to it.
What's changing? What are you talking about? Is it the Ouroboros project? Is that it?
No one can stop it. Ouroboros is about to change everything we've ever come to know.
Chris!
Chris? You're Chris.
What's so funny? How do you know about me?
All your answers are wait ahead, Chris. In that cave. If you can survive long enough to get them. Italian's not so bad, but it's not gonna change anything. You're still screwed!
We're wasting time here.
Chris!
Poor bastard.
Now what?
We keep going.
Alright, that'll do it for Chapter 3-3. Once again, you can see the S ranking. I will see you in the next video when we tackle Chapter 4-1, one of my favorite levels of the game.